Good morning. My name is Dr. Linda Dixon. You all know me. Aloha. I'm in Hawaii. I'm going to just try to give you 2 or 3 pointers about microblading because you have so many questions, even if you have been trained. And I would urge those of you who have not been trained to please get trained in microblading. I consider it an advanced course. It's not difficult, but there's a lot to know, and there's a lot to know how to do it. And it's also important what not to do when you're microblading. Okay, so Gloria is going to pan around with the camera and show you how my practice pad area is set up. Here are scissors, and you'll use this to cut your 3M tape. This is just foam tape, so you're going to want to cut some 3M foam tape. I'll show you why this is helpful and important soon. Okay, so you'll need your scissors to cut your tape. You'll need your gloves. I happen to like black gloves. You'll need your finger ring to put on your finger, and your color source. I can only talk about color source colors, but I don't care what you use, as long as they don't dry out or splotch. So I'm going to put this color in here. This is Koa. You will need the medium eyebrow stencil so that you can get a definite shape on your practice face. And it's a little bit too big for this face. So take this is an ultra fine point Sharpie permanent marker. You can use this on the skin as well. Make sure you I'm just going to put some dots here. Just so that I know my borders. And then I can taper down here. Those are just your borders. So you are going to need a basic shape here. Even if you can freehand it, of course, your basic measurements are up from either the inner ala, straight up, or up from the outer ala, but certainly a good place is the inner corner of the eye. That tells you where to start. Feel the bone, and also if you go from the tip of the nose here, up here, that'll give you your arch right there, which is where it should be, and the same way your tail. Make sure your tail is at least at or above where you start here. Okay, important thing, your tools. Okay, we've marked this, and then we have this in your practice kit. We have this piece of paper, which will give you an idea, your first strokes and your directions, and the transition zone. So just know that the average brow is about 2 inches, and you can divide it into thirds, and the first 2/3 are going up to the arch, and the last third is coming down. Okay, the tip to the arch is about 2/3 of the distance, and the tail is 1/3. The beginning of the brow is, I've said, zone 1. In zone 2, you're going to start changing the hair direction in your upper brow. Number 3 is more or less of a transition zone, where you're now going from the top down and out, pretty horizontally, okay? And then zone 4 You can have from down and out, but you can also have some lower strokes that go up into there.
Recording.
We have a responsibility.
Okay, so I've titled this page Train Your Brain. It was in my Brow Masters class. And you can see those. These are in your kit. On this side, you'll notice your needle choices. And Soft Tap has a good, okay. Okay, so here are your needle choices. Now, my favorites are the 14 curved. The Soft Tap has good needles, the 14 and the 16. The 16 is an ultra fine, and they also have a very fine new needle called the 6. This comes in the regular and the fine. So this is a little tiny needle, but it is for very fine hair strokes. Okay. You have 2 handles for Soft Tap tools. You have the stick, click stick, with a measuring tool, and you have the fish belly, okay? Each one of them you hold a little bit differently. For microblading, I personally prefer the click stick, and now this happens to be the 16 Soft Tap. It's ultra fine. Okay, so this is nice and sterile. It's so clean I can't even get it out. Okay, so let's pull this off, and that's very important. When you're getting things from China, unfortunately, you're not going to know if they're sterile or not, but Soft Tap you can rely on. So really push hard, and it clicks into place. This is the micro stroker. These are sterile, and I happen to like this also because the needle and the handle are all in one piece. All in one piece. One of my favorite needles, having said that, is what I call the gold needle. This has 14 needles in it, and this will fit in this red handpiece, and also it'll fit in the yellow and black handpiece. Depending on how these come, you may have to completely disassemble this, but you might as well learn how to do it because this is in 3 pieces, okay? So go ahead and put your needle in sideways. Now the reason this is good is because you can make your needle into like a hockey stick, however you like to make it, okay? So it goes in there like that, and it goes in there, and this goes in there. I'm making this look difficult. It really is not. Give it your little hockey stick angle. That's the way they did it when I was in Korea about 10 years ago. Here's what I want to share with you. You want to always dip, tap, and then stroke. I want you to go in the skin at a 90-degree angle, and then go. This, as you rotate your hand, it will give you, now dip, tap, so you have color in your needles, not to get in colors. Go in at a 90-degree angle. Don't go in tilted like that. Because if you go in tilted like that, you're going to get sort of a splinter shadow effect. Okay, so this is some dream brow. So I wanted to emphasize that it's this action here that's going to give you your curve. You don't need too much of a curve. So dip, tap, straight in the skin. This is your little hair right there. If you go in at an angle, you're going to get shadowing. Okay. Now, we've put one other part are your baby wipes, so you can clean as you work. But before you do, just rub the color in a little bit to see how you're getting some strokes. Okay, so now we're going to do this on the foam tape, the 3M foam tape, and this will let us know how much pressure to use. Now I wanted to talk to you about spacing. If you space your brow hairs too close together, then when you let go stretching the skin, then they're going to get more solid looking. So as you practice your hair strokes a little further apart. You notice. So you're starting to get strokes like this. Now, why is this tape so helpful? It's helpful because you asked me, how deep do I go? How much pressure do I do? This helps you because when you peel this off, you can see the back of it. And it's possible I may have been pressing a little bit too hard. See how it tore that? Can you see that? So now I'm going to put it back, and I'm going to practice with a little bit lighter touch. I tend to be a little heavy-handed, so I need to be a little lighter. So again, straight in. The needle's at 90 degrees. Just turn your wrist. Okay. Do not go in like this. That's not good, because then you'll get some color at the tip of your needles that makes your hair stroke too wide. So let's go here. And you'll get used to going in and straight out. Okay? So let's see how we're doing here. See, you've given yourself some room. And just, I'm like everybody else, just keep practicing. But do go in straight. And you can make little ones too, like this. Just practice your pressure, and you can see also how much color you get in going down and out versus up and out. You can turn your tool around and come this way. So this is your little practice area. Now here's another practice area here. We've marked it with the Sharpie. We've let the Sharpie dry. And look, you still have your markings. So this is your Sharpie Ultra Fine Point Permanent Marker. You have to let your Sharpie dry or it'll smear. Okay, here we go. So sometimes it's even helpful to start at the tail. Like that. Up to your arch. You may want to put in a few strokes here. And you may even want to make a few strokes there. You notice the needle is in at a 90-degree angle. Okay. These hairs really in here are growing pretty horizontally. Here you're going to notice as you come back here, you're still going to have a few hairs going down here. But as you start coming down here, as you come around from here, down, down, make sure you dip, tap, and stroke. And in here, you're up and out, right? I'm pressing perhaps a little more firmly. I seem to do better bringing the blade toward me. It's up to you. The most important thing is that you, can you see that at all? You can start building your brow hair strokes. Now, how many times do you go over them? Well, you don't want to go over them more than probably twice. This is a little stiffer practice pad. And but when you go over your strokes, I've seen this, Jody Stosky helped me with this. Make sure you rub in your color. Rub in your color. I know it's messy, but rub it in because the skin's open. Okay, so here's your brow. Don't get your hair strokes too close. Place your hair stroke with a light thing and then stretch. Place your hair stroke where you want it. Say you want it here. Then stretch and put it in. In closing, I hope this helps you because you will be able to build a brow and just practice, and watch the direction of hair growth of your clients. And, you know, you're going to develop your favorite needle, whether it's the 14 or whether it's the soft tap. But the spacing is very important. Don't space your hair strokes too close together because they will blur together, okay? Don't go too deep because the color's going to tend to ash out. Color source, I'm working always on colors that will stay a nice brown like Chocolate Kiss, but that are excellent for microblading. We are happy to share whatever I've learned with you as I go along and learn more. Stay in touch with us online at colorsource.com. That's Color Source with a K like in King, KOLORSOURCE.com. Aloha and mahalo.